how's it going? My name is Jay and welcome to the channel. Today we're back here in Sannikovland in Planet Zoo and we've got a bit of a different video today. So as you may notice on screen, we're not in a speed build at the moment, and that is because I thought let's take a break from building for a bit and let's just go around the zoo as of now and just kind of look at everything that we built so far. I just want to show you guys a lot of the behind the scenes stuff that I probably haven't been able to show very clearly in a lot of the previous videos, and just kind of go through, well, Sannikovland as a whole. And before we get started, I just want to say a huge thanks to everyone for the feedback on the previous video. It's been really great hearing from you in the comments, and for all the new subscriptions as well. We are nearly at 400 subscribers and that is just so cool, so thank you guys. And for those of you guys who are new, welcome aboard. This is of course my current project in Planet Zoo, and if you enjoy it, please do hit the subscribe button and like the video if you do enjoy this content. And without further ado, let's dive into today's video. So, as you can see on screen right now, we are in the game itself. Let me just take off the overlay. So this is Sannikovland as a whole. You can see it from kind of a bird's eye view right now. And I just do apologize in advance if the frame rate is kind of poor. It's of course a very detail heavy zoo, and because of that the performance is kind of going to be a bit laggy, and here and there we might experience a few frame rate drops and a few moments where the game does freeze up on us. But yeah, on screen you can see the zoo as a whole. At the bottom of the screen you can see the main road that leads to, well, the outside world essentially, and the two tunnels it disappears into. You can see the road network leading its way into the car park and the entrance just towards the bottom left. And on the bottom right you can see the intersection that leads into the zoo's road network, and of course the roundabout where one of the roads does diverge into the staff road that goes right through the middle of the zoo and into the staff areas and stuff like that. So let us zoom in a little bit. We're just going to go on a bird's eye view very quickly, and then I'll hop into Touch-It Cam, which for those of you who are unaware is how you can kind of get a first person view of the zoo, and we'll check out the zoo from there as well. So first off, let's just check out, so this is the road on the outside. You can see I did all these markings. We haven't seen this since like the first couple episodes, so I thought I'll just show it to you. Not much has changed. Of course you can see the road leading towards the tunnels here, and of course as we go in here you can see the Sannikovland sign, which is currently floating. Of course a lot of work needs to be done on the outside, lots of work needs to be done just in general in this whole area. Now going towards the left you can see the roads that lead into Sannikovland. Of course I'm not familiar with road layout in real life, so this is probably very unrealistic. I mean, I've heard a lot of comments about this roundabout being horrendous, but let's just pretend the people who planned out the zoo were not the best at road planning, let's just say, which is kind of true really. So yeah, people can go into the zoo here. Here is of course the entrance. They can go right across, park in the car park, and I've actually done some work in the car park between episodes, just added some greenery, added all these street lamps, and of course all these cars are from the workshop, so if you want to use them in your own park, check out the workshop link in the description down below. Sorry, just getting a drink of water there, always good to stay hydrated. Anyways, as you can see in this car park, it is not the biggest car park, and that's something I want to hear from you guys, a little bit of feedback from, is that do you guys think I should increase the size of the car park? I don't think it's particularly big for the size of the zoo. I think it would need more space, and for that, I don't know, I could always expand out here to the left side of the lake, so please do let me know in the comments, do you think I should expand the car park? Of course you can see the lake that we introduced here next to the car park, and there's lots of ways to get into the zoo from the car park itself. Of course we've got these canopies with these zebra crossings, and you may notice we have some guest spawners here as well. What I'll eventually do is add in a little shed, probably where people could pay for their parking tickets and stuff like that, and that's where people will emerge from, just to give it a bit more realism and have it so that people don't just emerge out of nowhere. And one more area that has guest spawners, as you may know from my previous episode, is right here. So this is the first kind of feature of the zoo itself, is of course this lovely water feature, this pond. and the subway entrance. So there is meant to be a subway station underneath the zoo. Of course, it's not actually there, it's just pretend. But here's the first subway entrance. God, I love the lighting effects in this game. Isn't that beautiful? Anyway, so we have a couple guest spawners in there, and this is meant to be a lift entrance, so people can emerge here as well. And the first thing they'll see is this lovely little green space, a bit of a garden, very tropical. And they'll just turn backwards, can walk here towards where this water feature is. They got a little bit of a photo opportunity here with the chair, so you can sit here in front of this really lovely vertical garden and get some pictures, and then cross the road and enter the entrance proper, which is here, what we worked on the first episode, or the first 2 episodes or so actually. And of course, here's where you can buy tickets if you haven't got them previously. Here's a little, I don't think I've shown you guys this is the ticketing booth. Again, apologies for the frame rate. And it's all quite nice here, it's very cool. I imagine all of this is air conditioned because this is probably a very hot place. And yeah, overhead, just to show you guys the zoo itself before we hop into Tedgecam. This is our first habitat on the right here, which is our capuchin monkey with some staff areas. Of course, our entrance plaza with the shops that we worked on quite a while ago, that lovely mountain facade. And our first kind of big high street type situation, we have a toilet on the right, then the tapir habitat with the anteater. Just a quick note, our baby tapir has been released into the wild because that lovely little boy has matured, and because he is now a healthy adult tapir, we released him into the wild to help with wild populations of tapir, which is very nice. And his parents are still here because obviously we cannot have more than 2 tapirs for population reasons. And they're still like pretty young, so we can probably expect another tapir baby at some point. Here is the jaguar trail, of course. From above you can see that bowl shape that it has with the guest areas around the outside and the jaguars in the middle. We'll have a look at them in the next part of the video when we hop into Tedgecam. Of course, to the right, of course, we do have a lot of staff areas. We have a staff building here, a lot of concrete back here, some vehicles. Generally speaking, it's very, very industrial back here. This is not really for guests to see. It's very much just purely for function, not really for aesthetics. So a lot of concrete, a lot of straight lines. I will clutter it up with more industrial things later down the line, but that's how it is for now. There's also a little shed here actually where I store just a bunch of random clutter, but also random pieces of like I built this bamboo structure here, which I thought I was going to use for one of the buildings or something like that, but never ended up using it. So now it's just lying here in the shed. So I thought, you know what, if I build something and I'm not sure where I'm going to use it yet, I'll just drop it here next to this shed and it kind of fits the theme. So yeah, that's what that is. Heading back this way. Again, so man, this frame rate is horrendous, I do apologize again. Of course, here we have the tortoise habitat and the gardens. They're looking lovely. We have some baby tortoises, which we'll have a look at later. If we go further along here, this is the one more thing I want some feedback on. As we progressed into the South Asia and India section, we actually have a bit of an empty space here between the jaguar habitat and the this little cafe and also the rhinoceros habitat. There's a bit of a gap, and I would love to hear your feedback down in the comments as to what do you think I should fill that up with. And of course, further along we do have the rhinoceros habitat here, and on the right we have our big staff building, the admin building, where you have both this is the more customer facing side of the staff buildings, and of course right behind it we do have the more industrial staff buildings. So these two are connected, and again a lot of concrete back here, a lot of very industrial stuff back here. Again, very much fully oh god, there's something here which I didn't fix. Yeah, I need to fix that at some point. But actually, you know what, I'll fix it right now. Let's just get rid of whatever this is and where it came from. I'm thinking I must have just completely missed it. Anyways, this building, as you can see, is very much kind of like, I would say, where a lot of the main stuff activities are carried out. So preparation of food, animal welfare, that sort of stuff. And here we have a loading truck as well. You can get these on the workshop. Again, very great assets, but made by some really skilled creators, so please do check them out on the website, on the Steam workshop. And here we have another storage area, as well as a little like gated part of this place, so you could always close up the gates if you don't want anyone messing with the stuff here. And here is a staff parking area, so again, very empty right now, and I don't know if this is enough parking for the staff, but I imagine right now, considering the zoo is closed, that makes enough sense, and you can always add more later if we want. This is our South Asia section, of course, our India section that we've been working on. So here for the rhinoceri. The rhinos are here, the two of them, they can be seen here near the water. We'll get a better look at them in a bit. Of course, this whole area is meant to be more of, like, this isn't a zoo that you walk straight through and you can see animals on both sides all the time. This is a zoo I want people to explore and have a great time kind of really going through all these little paths and like hidden alleyways and just kind of really explore their way through the park. So I really like how this South Asia section has turned out. As you can see, there's a water, this pool in the rhinoceros habitat is kind of where the the water body kind of ends there. You can see the waterfall that is coming from the gharial habitat. You can see our big male gharial right in the middle right now swimming. Off to the right you can see the waterfall that leads into the gharial habitat, which is from our tiger habitat that we worked in last episode. And of course the biggest waterfall comes out from this artificial pipe area on the right. And on the right here is our next habitat, which I'm not fully started yet. I've just done some terrain work, but as you can see, just doing some very rough terrain work, you can already see this is going to be the biggest habitat so far, which should give you an idea of what animal is coming next. So yeah, in the comments down below, please feel free to guess what we've got next. I think you guys are going to like it. I've got some really good ideas for it, and of course you'll see that in the next episode, which will be coming out... What day is it? Honestly, all the days kind of just merge into one right now, so it is Friday, so wait, no, it's Friday now when I'm filming this, so it will be Saturday when this episode goes out, and Wednesday for the next one, so look out for that. Now, to get into TegidCam, what we need is a staff member. Let me just plop one down so that we can very quickly get into this. Put down a keeper, because you can never have too many keepers. Boink, there you go. So this is, for you guys who don't know, if you go to a staff member and you click their name and you rename it TegidCam, you go into first person mode, which is really fun. I always thought this should have been more of like an innate feature of the game rather than, a little cheat, but I think it works fine either way. So let's just zoom out a little bit and kind of pretend we're entering as a guest. So here we are entering Sannikovland. Wow, that frame rate is horrendous. Sorry again. And, thanks for putting up with me apologizing all the time. That's just a bad habit of mine. But I do apologize. Anyways, let's turn to the right and check out a capuchin habitat first of all. You can see a little sign that tells you to be quiet because this is the kind of living quarters. And this is one-way glass, so the capuchins can't see us. Oh wow, there's so many of them. They're all in here. They do use all the different climbing frames. You can see there's a juvenile as well, asleep there, and there's another juvenile next to it. The juveniles don't look too different from the adults, so you can see the ones all on screen right now are young ones and the adults are to the right here. There's not too much difference there. But yeah, they do use all the different layers of this build to kind of walk around. It's quite nice to see. And they have some nest boxes as well, which is really nice. So moving on, let's just turn here and look at the outdoor section, which is one of my favorite builds even to this day that we've done in Sannikovland is this facade here with the outdoor area of the capuchins. I think this just, with this little glass panel with the framing, looks really nice, and I think it worked out really, really well for this habitat. Of course, we can just look inside and you can see the capuchins kind of hanging out, having a good time. Most of them are inside right now, but they do use a lot of these climbing frames to move around. I believe we have like 15 now. We did start off with 8. Actually, let's just go into the habitat and you can see some here. Just this guy's not moving, but he is standing on that rock. There's someone back here as well, also on a rock. But yeah, they do enjoy climbing through the habitat, they just don't seem to be doing much of that right now. Anyways, turning back, just going down here, you can see, of course, turning around a lot actually. This was our first little staff, sorry, not staff building, it's our first little like food and drink outlet. It's just a little kind of small building where you can get your food and drink. Yeah, you can just get some food and drink. There's not really much else to say about that one. Anyways, let's keep walking down the high street. Of course, we've got a lovely animal facade here with the mountains, and I think it looks so nice being framed by the actual mountains in the back. I think that just came out so nice. Excuse me, I was just getting another drink of water. Anyways, let's just walk further down here. Just to the right again, this is the capuchin habitat, and if you turn right here, that's actually the entrance over there. That's the entrance to the staff section. Of course, you can see the staff thingy there. And staff members just face through the wall because obviously they can't open the doors in the game. But there is basically an entrance to the staff area there. Here's one of our toilets. I really like the look of this building. I don't know why, but this specific toilet just came out really nice. I think it looks very modern and very clean. It looks like a toilet I'd want to use, so yeah, take that how you will. Of course, now we're getting towards the high street. The lake is on our left, very much unfinished. We could do a lot more detailing there. But there's a lot of these lovely umbrella covered tables that you can have a meal on while overlooking the lake. It looks like a very pleasant place to kind of have a snack. This is of course our tapir and anteater habitat, which is currently empty. Where are these guys? I think they do spend a lot of time swimming, so we'll check out the pool. Oh no, there's the tapir right there in the back, coming out of a shelter and walking towards us. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, the other one is in there as well. But yeah, very green habitat. Really enjoy making this one. I love the modern shelter at the back with the vertical garden again. Really like that. Anyways, turning onwards, you can get into our South America section. Again, making use of these triangle panels, which I put together at the start of the series. If you go into episode 1, I believe that's where I make them. And they're going to be a repeated pattern throughout the park. And here we can turn into the underwater section of the tapir habitat, and I was wrong. None of them are here swimming. So let's just go into the habitat briefly and look for them. So I think everyone's in the shelter actually. So there's the anteater and the other tapir. Yeah, everyone was in the shelter. Cool. Okay, let's head back out the way we came. God, this is a mess. And let's head up towards the Jaguar Trail. There's lots of ways to go up towards the Jaguar Trail. Let's take the long way around. Just go this way and then go upwards here, up the stairs, up here, and turning inwards, and there's the entrance. Okay, here we are. Here's the little wall facade for the Jaguar. We can go into this door, and here we are. So, wow, okay, that's a great view right there. You can see one of the Jaguars just walking right up into one of the trees actually. It's just chilling on the yellow ipe tree, I believe that's what it's called, and jumping back down. And it's got a feeder right there, so it might be playing with the feeder right now, which is great timing. Now it's just going to wander off. There are 2 Jaguar cubs in here as well, 2 babies, and we might be able to see them, though they tend to stick towards the shelter if I'm not mistaken. This is one of the less finished areas. I would love to come back in here one day between episodes and just add a few more information signs, some benches, just finish up the indoor section a bit more. Now yeah, let's keep going. Like I said, you can see it's very unfinished in here. I have mainly the exteriors. Here's another great view of the Jaguar. Like, there's lots of really good views for the Jaguar here. Ooh, in fact, that one's a really good view because he's doing the... Ah, yes, nice. Actually, that might be our female. Yeah, that is our female Jaguar. I remember because I think right before I started this, the male was in the shelter. So yeah, that's that. Let's keep going. Here's another thing I really like because it's probably the longest and most gradual incline I managed to achieve in the game. These side windows are meant to be very like secluded windows, like you can just barely see past the foliage, so it gives the jaguars more privacy, makes you feel a bit more immersed in the forests. So coming out here, we got this lovely little pattern here from the base game banners that I put up on the wall, and in here we have the underwater viewing area, which I think looks really nice with that really nice log here, and they're not in there right now, so we'll just skip past that. And if you come out this way, oops, actually that is the wrong way, didn't mean to do that. So just going back out here and turning left, we have the Galapagos giant tortoise habitat with these really nice canopies. Here's one of our, I think that is one of our females. The male has like a more reddish shell, I think. So they obviously don't do very much, they don't move an awful lot. They really like using this little cave that I built for them, which I think is super cute. As you can see, we do have some babies as well. You can see a couple of them on screen. There's one just right next to the feeding tray, and another one just behind that adult as well. And of course there's a little staff building behind it as well. And just past the tortoises, of course, there's this little garden that we built. Very simple, but I think pretty effective. Nonetheless, you can get on a bench, just sit, enjoy the shade, enjoy being out of the sun for a bit. And turning back out, we've kind of finished with the South America section. And let's move on towards the South Asia/India section. You can see some of our staff members just wandering about because they don't really have jobs to do because, you know, there are no guests. So again, this is one of the empty areas I want to fill up, and I don't really have many ideas. I think I might do a playground for kids, that could be quite fun. But yeah, let's just go straight ahead actually. Okay, so on the right you can see the cafe that we built. We built that same episode as the admin building, I believe. There's a little area down here with the information signs you can wander through and learn about stuff. Here's the admin building again. Won't go in there just because it's very unfinished and I want to take some time and really finish it off between episodes. Where are you running to? This keeper is running in slow motion. On the left here we have the staff area for the rhinos. They can go in there and get into the rhino habitat. And here we have the South Asia sign, and we have the all the various signage for where the animals are. So first off, we'll go in here. One of my new favorite things to do is have these lovely little rock patterns underneath the signs. I think they work really well. And we're just going to turn left here. Again, more of these information signs. And as you go here, I want it to feel a bit drier, not so tropical, not as humid. And here you have like an indoor viewing area for the rhinos. So you go in here, there's custom flooring, a few signs, so you can learn about their habitat and the rhinos themselves. And there's some of the rhinos right now. There's two of them, just chilling, enjoying life. This is super cute. I'm not sure if the female is pregnant. She might be. If she is, that means we could have some baby rhinos on the way, which would be great. In the wild, of course, these guys are very solitary, so you'd rarely ever see them in pairs like this unless they are breeding. So I thought, you know, for the most part, I want animals in the zoo to be in pairs, so we do get a chance of having more offspring, because baby animals are cute. So, and I want this to be a zoo focused on conservation as well. So having captive breeding programs, I think, only fits. So here's another South Asia sign, so you can also enter this way. And just over this bridge you can see the waterfall, which is really, really nice, I think. It just feels so appropriate for this area. Here's the staff building for the gharials. So if you go here, it's it's for the staff, like I just said. So it just leads towards the gharial habitat. Walking towards past the South Asia sign, you see this little elephant statues, which are all over the park actually. They're very much like a Sannikovland staple, if you will. Now, here's this is the underwater viewing area for the gharials. You can just go down here, and are any of them in the water? They usually are, but they might just be a bit further away. I can't see any. Anyways, we can also just make our way upstairs, which is the overwater viewing area. and when I say over water, it's literally like over the water, which is great. And you can see right into the habitat here. There is actually one of our one of our females actually in the water just there. The males are a lot bigger, so it's a lot easier to define which ones they are. Actually, let me check again. Is that a female? Can't tell. You need two of them in the frame to really discern which one is which. And you can see I've done all these lovely custom supports for the bridges. I think they look really nice. And you can go up here and have a look at our gharials all basking. This is quite a nice view. You can see all the different shapes and sizes of them. So you can see the male off to the left with the big bulbous snout, and of course the little baby gharials as well, and the two females just over there. And you can cross this bridge and of course see the gharials. Yep, that looked like that was in fact a male. You can see the little bulbous snout under the water, and of course it's just really big. So, oh no, the sign has a spoiler, but you guys pretend you didn't see that. So that will tell you which animal we're doing next, so get excited for that if you guys saw that. Off to the left here we have another waterfall, of course leading towards the next animal, which is the Bengal tiger. This area isn't fully complete yet. I do want to work on this a lot more. This whole area needs a lot of work. This is the staff area of the Bengal tigers, so, but once we go past these stairs, yeah, this path is pretty much complete. You can see the big tall waterfall. And you get our first view into the tiger habitat here. You can go into this rocky cavern area, there's a bench, and there's a waterfall just here, so you can look right past the waterfall, which is pretty cool. There's going to be another one here that is going to flow into the next habitat, which again, as you can see, is kind of laid out there, and I'll be building more of that between episodes. Now as you walk forward, you can see this lovely umbu tree, and you're basically in the tiger habitat now. Walking through this tunnel, bridge, whatever, you get into the main viewing area. If the tigers are in their shelter underneath, you can view them through the glass. But for the most part, is my character really short or something? You can just look over the bamboo panels, and of course you can see the tigers. There's one over there near their official shelter, of course. You can just about make it out, but in the shelter there's a few, what do you call them in the game? Steel mesh fences, I think they're called. Essentially those are meant to act as kind of gates, just obviously for pretend, just in my headcanon, they're gates that you can seal to prevent the tigers from getting to the keepers and vice versa, so you can separate out the animals just while you're cleaning the habitat and stuff. Just a quick note, I am including these new climbing frames that I made on the workshop. Someone requested it in the previous episode, so check that out in the description down below. Now walking back down here, you can see the tiger pond, so the tigers can go in there and have a swim, and there's an underwater viewing area. In fact, let's just have a quick look. This is another area I need to be working on soon. Let's just actually get out of the Tejet cam and go over there real quick. So like I said, this is all stuff I'll be working on between episodes. I've built a little staff area here for the tigers, some supports here, but I need to detail all of this and give it more supports as well. And here as well, this is the more disability friendly section to enter. There's no stairs, the inclines are very gradual. So this area I'll need to build up with supports as well. And the other side of course has stairs. This is the underwater viewing area with all this. And yeah, I think it's pretty alright here. I would like to do more work on it, of course, do more benches, maybe a few more plants here and there. And this is another entrance to the South Asia section, which I recently built up with just some support. And I love this little log fencing. I think it came out really nice. And more of these elephant statues all over the place. So it looks like a little herd of elephants making its way through the zoo alongside your own, explorations, which I think looks really nice. Anyways, that is pretty much it for Sannikovland. Once again, I know it's a bit of a different episode, so I do hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks so much for coming along with me on this ride. One more time, I do, final apology, but I do apologize for the frame rate. I know it's rough. Usually I play this game on pause, because in this map it needs to be on pause. And then I only click play to record the cinematics, and then usually I leave it on play for like another half an hour or something while I just watch the animals kind of enjoy themselves and explore, which is quite a fun part of the game that I used to not spend as much time doing, and I realized like, no, I really enjoy seeing the animals explore the habitats I built for them, so that's something I've been doing a little bit more of. So yeah, just a final note, I of course would love to hear your feedback. There's a lot of things that need to be built. As you can see, the path system is kind of complete, but that is very much just a guideline for me. I'm not going to stick to it religiously or whatever. A lot of it can change and probably will change. Some little bits and things I want to do in the future. I want to include a petting zoo kind of in this empty space here. I will probably do this entire section here as the Africa section because it will be quite large. I'm planning on introducing a restaurant just in this little mini peninsula that's on the lake. Of course, next to the roundabout here is going to be the main subway entrance. That's why you see this little pick up and drop off area. So there's going to be a subway entrance, and there's just going to be a few more little things here and there. And of course, I might increase the parking as well. So very much open to feedback. Would love to hear from you guys. Let me know what sort of things you would add. How would you fill up these little empty spaces, for example? I'm thinking playground maybe. Like this one at the back, especially because this is the staff area, and obviously I don't want to put anything guest facing in there, but I don't know what to add. So please do leave suggestions down in the comments. And there's just loads of room for additions. Like I said, as much as we've already gone to episode 10, we've only finished up maybe like 1/5 of the zoo. So we've got so much more time and so much more space to be working on. Would love to hear your ideas. So that's about it for today's episode. We're going to hop into cinematics now. And I do really, really hope you've enjoyed it. Please do let me know in the comments down below what you thought of it, your feedback, all that sort of stuff. Like the video if you did enjoy it. And of course, subscribe if you enjoy this content. The next episode will be out on Wednesday and will likely be of the next habitat. It might be a bit longer of a wait just in case. I'm just going to put it out there right now. I'm not sure if I'll be able to finish this by next Wednesday. So if I'm a bit late, that's why. But I will try my best to get it out on Wednesday for you guys. So thanks very much. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.